That matters. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Derek Queen said, as Willard quoted, "Give me the M-effing ball." And deliver, Derek Queen did. The king of College Park, Derek Queen, our first true buzzer beater.
I think that Maryland's going to win this game. I just think they're going to find a way to get the ball inside. They're going to cut down Clifford. They're going to contest the three-point line a little bit better. They're going to funnel the ball in.
Only on SportsGrid.
Good morning. Welcome to NewsWire here on SportsGrid. I'm Craig Mish. Great to be back with you here. Opening day. It's tomorrow, folks. We're almost there. The Sweet 16, almost there tomorrow. Got some fun programming for you here on SportsGrid over the next few days. But we got to wait one more day. So we'll give you the very best today here on the show. Simon Applebaum from the podcast tomorrow will be televised. We'll talk about the record-breaking numbers that were seen for the NCAA tournament. We'll also preview the latest in college basketball as the games are coming up this week. Also from our guest at Legal Sports Report, we talk about one state that could potentially legalize sports betting this year, a very unusual one to say the least. And we do have some news from the National Football League as well, some surprising news as well. We didn't get just one signing. We got two yesterday. So this is where we're going to lead off today because call it a little odd, strange, bizarre, maybe so. Two quarterbacks in 2 weeks for the New York Giants and not named Aaron Rodgers. So the quarterback room looks like this. Jameis Winston, starter, backup, who knows? Russell Wilson, starter, backup, who knows? Will they draft a quarterback as well? Who knows? Feels like the Giants signaling here that they're not going to sign Aaron Rodgers for the upcoming season. Of course, Russell Wilson signed a one-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers, was let go in the offseason. And so from Seattle to Denver to Pittsburgh and now to the New York Giants, it would appear that Wilson probably has a chance to start upcoming season for the Giants. And, of course, their mini camps will begin later this summer. Also, Stephon Diggs has a new destination. He has chosen to take his talents, so to speak, to Foxborough and signs with the New England Patriots. It's a 3-year, $69 million contract. About half of that is guaranteed. Patriots have struggled to really have some targets for Drake May, and this is definitely going to be one of them. Played okay in Houston, got hurt. Of course, had a great career with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Now Diggs is a member of the New England Patriots. Some unfortunate news in the National Basketball Association regarding at least the immediate future of Damian Lillard. He sustained a deep vein thrombosis, which is otherwise known as a blood clot in his right calf. He's out indefinitely and will continue regular testing. The NBA playoffs begin next month. No word as to whether or not Lillard will play alongside Giannis and the Bucks. Richard Pitino has a new coaching destination, had a great run with New Mexico, took him to the NCAA tournament, and even picked up a win. He's headed now to the Big East and will face his dad a lot because he is the new head coach of Xavier. And he went 53-18 at New Mexico. Really impressive run for them. They won the Mountain West this season, 27-8. That'll be a fun matchup when it begins next college basketball season. The return of Jimmy Butler did not go as planned for Jimmy. It went as planned for the Heat. They were inspired yesterday, without a doubt, as Miami wins big, 112-86. Steph Curry, of course, did not play in this game. We should mention that. Butler had 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. There were some cheers. There were some boos. After the game, Butler just exited, didn't really go over to his ex-teammates or anything, did have some glowing remarks for a lot of the city in Miami and a lot of his former teammates, but said afterward that it wasn't all that emotional in his return.
Yeah, like I always say, I got a lot of love for the city, for the fan base here. Video was nice. I won't say that there was a lot of emotions, though. I think I went into this thing level-headed. We wanted to win the game. It didn't go the way we planned, but we'll be all right.
Was anything strange about coming in and you're going to the visitor's side after 5.5 years here? The way to get to the game, I guess.
I was confused a little bit, but then I think I figured it out. I haven't been on the side in a minute. Haven't pulled into that interest in a while, but it looks like I'm going to be doing that for the next several years.
Jimmy, you maintained that this is just another game. Now that it is over, how would you assess the return, but also the end of this chapter?
We're all good. We didn't win. I don't think we played the style of basketball that we wanted to play, that we talked about playing at the same time. But like I said, it's another one. So it didn't go in the win column, it went in the loss column. But it's like any other time I'm doing media, we got to bounce back because we can't let the thing spiral out of control. We got to go into New Orleans, and they've been playing incredibly well, and get that one. Definitely got to get that one.
All right, meanwhile, the Oklahoma City Thunder continue to roll. They picked up win 60 on the season, 121-105. It's their 7th straight win. They're the best team in the NBA. There's no denying it. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, had 32 points. The Kings, by the way, with their playoff hopes, fall into a tie for 9th place in the Western Conference and have a half-game lead over the free-falling Dallas Mavericks for the final play-in spot. Doug Christie is now the interim head coach of the Kings, looking for some silver linings after the loss.
48 threes, 32 assists. I told them, right before we went on the court, out on the court in the second half, I said that's the team that you're going to face in the playoffs, and at some point you're going to have to make a stand. And to our guys' credit, they did. If you guys know me, I'm not the moral victory guy, but there is a good team in our locker room, and they're trying to find their way, and they're trying to find their rhythm, and they continue to fight, and I appreciate that. It doesn't feel good right now, but once they get that rhythm, watch out.
Kings have a bright future, just may not be this season. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Cavaliers are also continuing to roll. They beat the Trailblazers last night, and they cover the spread, 122-111. They have 58 wins, most in the East. Karl Anthony Towns, first triple-double in 3 years, and of course, the Knicks beat the Mavericks easily, 128-113. Cat had 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. Josh Hart, 16, 12, and 11. That's his 9th triple-double of the season. Tom Thibodeau, after, talked about the hot start, trading buckets back and forth, and then a closeout win.
Yeah, I thought, we started the game pretty well, and then we started trading buckets like the midway through the first, and then I thought the aggression and communication was a lot better in the second half. We had a number of guys step up and play well on both ends. And so I think, obviously the way, Josh was going to another triple-double, breaking the record, great accomplishment. And then to have Kat do it as well, that's pretty special. But OG was terrific throughout. I thought Mikal gave us really good minutes. And then our point guard play between Cam and Tyler was also very good. So, and I thought Precious's energy in the second half was huge for us.
140 points last night for the Memphis Grizzlies without Ja Morant. They beat the Jazz 140-103. It's been a rough season for the Utah Jazz, to say the least. The Grizzlies outscored them 76-38.
in the second half of the game. All right, NIT semifinals are set. Yes, there's another college basketball tournament going on right now. Remember that old NIT? Yeah, it's still going on. Chattanooga gets the win. They beat Bradley 67-65. Game-winning three with under 20 seconds to go. Chattanooga ends the season with the longest road streak winning in college basketball and more road wins in the last 5 years than any team in the nation. Meanwhile, Brian Wardle is the head coach of Bradley University, and immediately after losing has to figure out which of his players are staying.
What is next for you as far as roster construction?
I mean, I get to it tonight. I'm on the phones. That's what I do. Reloading and got to find out exactly who's coming back. Get everybody locked in, and then we got to just start our process to build another roster. And you can't relax. You know, this unfortunately you can't even really reflect on the season much anymore because you got to dive right into it. And we've obviously lost a lot, and we got to get some vets and get some older guys to mix in with our good young talent. You know, we'll get to it as a staff probably tonight, actually.
All right, and in the other semifinal game, North Texas beats Oklahoma State 61-59. I believe this was a pick'em game. Oklahoma State missed a game-winning three, got a good shot off. They didn't hit it. Ross Hodge, by the way, who's at North Texas, could be the favorite to be the next head coach West Virginia. We'll keep an eye on that as we go. All right, coming up next, time to dive into some soccer. We'll head to the pitch and find out what's going on with the U.S. team. Can they get things going? We'll talk to Kyle Bonn about that next. Don't go away.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The international break has come to a close. The U.S. men's team is trying to pick up the pieces. Let's bring in Kyle Bonn from Sporting News. And Kyle and I talked last week before, about the U.S. men's team. We knew that this would be a little bit of a work in progress. But Kyle, I don't remember you sharing to me how poorly that this could have possibly gone for the U.S. men's team. They lose to Panama. They lose to Canada. I know they got a new head coach and everything here, a new manager, excuse me. But, needless to say, there's not a long period of time for these guys to get to know each other here and get things going, is there?
No, there's not. And Mauricio Pochettino, after this disaster week, explained that, oh, we have time, we have over a year. But Mauricio Pochettino is new to international management. This is his first international job. He's wildly successful at the club level. But there's a big difference between the two. At the club level, a year and 3 months is an eternity. Coaches get hired and fired in smaller periods of time than that. On the international level, that's not a long time, especially for the U.S., who has almost no competitive matches remaining between now and next summer's World Cup because they don't have to qualify. They automatically qualify as hosts for the 2026 World Cup. So there's no qualifying matches for them between now and the tournament. The only competitive games are the Gold Cup this summer. Once that's over, it's all friendlies between then and the next summer. So really, he doesn't have a lot of time, and a lot of U.S. fans are feeling that heat, feeling that pressure. Pochettino in his press conference says, we have time, don't worry. But I don't think a lot of fans are buying it, because I don't think a lot of fans could have conceived that losing to Panama and then Canada and looking quite bad doing so was even conceivable this week. It was rough. Christian Pulisic didn't show up when the team needed him. He's still the leader of this team. He's still a very high-quality player, but they need him to be there when they need him. And when you're 0-0 with Panama going into the final 10 minutes, he's got to be the guy to step up, and they didn't have him against Panama or Mexico. And now the question becomes, they've always wanted to be a quarterfinal team at the World Cup. That has always been the goal. They've only done it once. It came in South Korea back in, I think, 2002 when they played Mexico. They've never played a non-CONCACAF team outside in the World Cup quarterfinals. And it would be hard to imagine them doing so, playing like that.
All right, so let's go from U.S. to Team Canada, because they, of course, have quarterfinal expectations as well. But I know that one of their players, Alphonso Davies, was injured in this game. So, Kyle, is he an integral piece of Team Canada? And if so, what does this mean for recovery time? Will he be back for the World Cup next summer?
Yeah, Alphonso Davies has suffered a torn ACL in the early stages of that game against the U.S. It's a hammer blow to Canada, because he's one of the two players who are really the centerpiece of this golden generation of talent for Canada. Still very young, but he is, the second best, if not best player on the team, along with Jonathan David up front. And it's a really, really big blow. He should be back for the World Cup, but then now the question becomes, how ready will he be, right? Because if it takes 8 to 10 months for him to come back from an ACL injury, how long does it then take him to get back into the swing of things? Soccer players recover from ACL injuries quicker than other sports. For whatever reason, the timeline in soccer is more like 6 to 10 months rather than the traditional year that you think of with other sports. But they also take time to get back into their rhythm, back into running again, kicking a ball again, being at full strength, full speed, trusting your knee. So, there could be questions about, will he be himself? But being a Bayern Munich player, he'll be out for the rest of the season for Bayern as they try to win the Champions League, and he'll definitely miss the Club World Cup this summer as well.
All right. Well, not good news for Team Canada, but maybe some better news down the line. Really good news for Argentina.
And Craig, too, on that point, if I can just finish there, because it just came out a few minutes ago, I should mention, Alphonso Davies' camp came out and accused Jesse Marsh, the head coach of Canada, of pressuring him to start when he felt he wasn't fully healthy in that USA game. So there's definitely some animosity there, which is something to watch moving forward as well. It's quite an accusation from Davies' camp, and you imagine that won't just go away once he comes back fully fit. So certainly something to watch as well.
All right. We'll keep an eye on that. There's some animosity every time Argentina plays Brazil, these rivals, but it's a one-sided affair here as Argentina just keeps beating them. What's going on?
Yeah, Brazil's in a world of hurt right now. They've been floundering through this entire qualifying campaign. They've been down in the middle of the standings, which you just never see Brazil down there. And they had won a last-second winner against Colombia in the previous game. and Rafinha, their star player right now, is having a Ballon d'Or type season. You think, all right, maybe this is the time that they get over the hump and they trouble Argentina and they maybe get a result. It did not happen. Rafinha came out before the game and made headlines and said, we're going to win. He guaranteed a victory. He said, we're going to beat them up on the field if we have to. This is going to be the moment for Brazil. And within 12 minutes, they were down 2-0. And by the end of the game, the fans in Argentina were singing to the Brazil coach, put Rafinha in, even though he'd been playing the whole game. So a bit of top banter there from the Argentina fans. But that just tells you how this game went. It was complete, utter domination. The only goal Brazil scored was basically off a turnover, a mistake by an Argentina defender. So Brazil really created no chances of their own. And it was total domination. And you have to imagine Argentina have the best player in the world in Messi, and he didn't even play in this game. They have the best coach in the world in Lionel Scaloni, and they are plus 900 to win the World Cup next year. That's fifth best. Brazil are plus 650. What are we doing here, people?
Kyle, we're out of time, man. I know I wanted to hit UEFA Champions League Nations League quarterfinals, but we're out of time. But I'm going to encourage people to follow you on social media and all of your work over at Sporting News for the latest on that and previewing the games coming up. Thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Craig. Appreciate it.
All right, Kyle Bonn with us. Coming up next after the break, we take a quick time out as Brady Cannon is ready to give us some more winners for the upcoming very big tournament on the PGA Tour, the Houston Open.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of thoughts.
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to NewsWire. It's the appetizer before the big meal. Folks, the Masters is right around the corner. We got to get in one more big tournament before it, and it's this week. It's the Houston Open. Let's bring in Brady Cannon to get the very latest. Brady, welcome back. I think a lot of people are going to be watching this one very carefully to see who performs well. I believe this is the last big tournament before Augusta, and all the big players are in it.
Yeah, there are a lot of big names here, most notably the two headliners, Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy. Now, we will have one more tournament next week as well, the Valero Texas Open, and then we head down Magnolia Lane in 2 weeks. So a two-step here in Texas before we hit the first major of the year. Now, you've got, like I say, the big two stars in this tournament in Scotty and Rory. They will not be around next week, but next week's field is really good as well. You know, it's interesting, Craig. Guys are now just planning their schedule, how they want to prep for the big dance in a couple of weeks. And Rory and Scotty are choosing to play this week. This course is very much a good tune-up for Augusta. The way it is contoured around the greens, there are a lot of similarities here. So I think that makes sense for guys to take this course on. It's very long. It's very difficult. So it's really a good tune-up. Now, next week, not a whole lot of similarities to Augusta, but some guys want to get that final round in just a week prior to the big event. So next week's field, you don't have Scotty and Rory, but you've got a laundry list of big names as well. So a couple of good precursors before we hit April and the first major of the season.
All right, so maybe I underestimated the Valero Open. I didn't see Scotty and Rory playing in that one, so I just kind of went with the big names here. But we know Brady's all about the long shots, so let's get to it. Here are the odds for the Houston Open, and we hit this. It's good. We hit this before it actually started. Usually we're like on halfway through the first round. So Scotty is the favorite. Rory McIlroy, you're getting no favors with him anymore. He's plus 650, and then if either of those two don't win, it's wide open here. So I think there's probably a lot of value in some top 20 finishes here. I know that we'll get your picks here in a minute, but amongst these leaders here, amongst the top dogs here, who do you like?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, these guys are at single-digit prices, and then the next closest guy's like 30-1. I didn't land on anybody until 50-1. So Rory and Scotty, thank you very much, are creating a great deal of value for the rest of the players in the field. You know, you can certainly argue that Rory's the hotter player of the two. He comes off of the win at the Players' Championship. Scotty has been off of his Scotty game. He certainly hasn't been off or in a slump or anything, but, he's not winning. He's only finishing top 10 and top 20. What's gotten into him? But Scotty's done extremely well at this tournament before. He's finished runner-up twice. Rory's never played here before. So I couldn't really land on anything with either of these two guys that said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and eat the short price here and feel that one of these guys is going to win this week. Like I say, I went deeper down the board and started at 50-1, Craig, with Maverick McNeely and Thomas Dietrich, both at 50-1.
Yeah, and by the way, there are a couple of names that I'm not familiar with also. Catch me up here. Alex Smalley at 60-1, and I'm not even going to try this gentleman from Denmark here at the end of your list here. I'm not going there.
Nikolai Højgaard, who's relatively new to the PGA Tour, been on the DP World Tour for a while now. He and both his twin brother, Rasmus Højgaard, are both very good players, and they're both in this tournament this week. They're really good, and I think both of them are probably going to get a win here pretty soon. You can keep your eye on those guys. Alex Smalley is, I wouldn't call him a journeyman, but he's off to a tremendous start this season, probably playing the best golf of his entire career. He makes a ton of sense for this golf course. He hits it long. This is a real long golf course, and we've seen bigger hitters win here in the past. This will be the 5th time that they have played the Houston Open at this golf course, and it's been pretty much all big hitters that have succeeded here. Not to say short hitters can't get it done, but the big hitters have prevailed for the most part. So that's primarily who I went with my selections this week. Dietrich and McNeely can both get it out there. They both have tremendous short games. Smalley, we talked about, has been in tremendous form. Keith Mitchell is a great driver of the golf ball, has a top 10 finish here in the past. You remember, of course, Harris English. We landed on him at Torrey Pines at 110-1. I'm going to go back to the well with English here on another big, long golf course. And then Nick Taylor, who has a win already this year. And we talked about Højgaard, who has had good finishes at Torrey Pines in the past. So we'll see if we can beat Scotty and Rory this week, Craig.
Yeah, well, I know that we'll be riding with you, Brady, as we always do. And also check out Brady's columns at .com. Masters is coming, Brady. Can't wait. Thanks for coming on the show.
You got it, my friend.
All right, we'll take a quick time out here on the program and be right back after.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, we got another visit with Pat Evans from Legal Sports Report. He's getting ready for his Spartans at the NCAA tournament, but we have some news stories to bring to you today, courtesy of Pat and LegalSportsReport.com. Let's bring Pat in, and surprise, surprise, maybe a state that we don't discuss a lot is getting ready to legalize sports gambling. It's, certainly seems like a possibility, some momentum, and boy, I mean, I don't want to use any puns here, but if you go on a cold streak in this state, it's not going to be pretty. Bad joke.
Yeah, so I did actually think about you as I was writing this story, because I go, you know what? I never bring new states to Craig. I should bring a new one. So we're going to talk about Alaska today, because so many of these stories that I bring up, it's just talking more sadness around Texas or Missouri or whatever. So Alaska does have a sports betting bill introduced, and it's not totally unusual. We've seen bills introduced to legalize sports betting in Alaska, but they've never really gone anywhere, and who knows what's going to happen. That's why they're introduced. It's why we follow it. It certainly could do something, and I'll kind of talk about that in a second, but this would legalize 10 sports books, which I think if you look at kind of similar states, I don't know, Wyoming, even though that's even smaller than Alaska, there's not many sports books. So 10 is a lot of licenses for this. But yeah, it's never made very much noise. Any other sports betting bill has never gone far in Alaska, and I don't know if it will this year. It's not a big gaming state. They're one of 5 states without a lottery, things like that. So we'll see what happens. But kind of the same thing that, happened in Hawaii this year, which we're still following because it surprisingly passed a House and now through 2 Senate committees. Anything can happen. I mean, Hawaii has been a huge surprise to the industry this year to have that much movement. So who knows? I mean, Alaska being not part of the continental 48, we don't think about it often and don't talk about it often here. But hey, it's a bill. Anything can happen. So I'll be watching it pretty closely, just like I do all the other states.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on Alaska for sports betting in the future. Okay, fair enough. All right, yesterday we talked about this story that broke here that In Missouri, they're still, trying to get their act together here. Hopefully by the time football season starts, they'll be able to bet on sports, but the awareness level is going to be raised astronomically here, Pat, because the most popular team in the state of Missouri, in my opinion, without a doubt, are the St. Louis Cardinals, and they're partnering up with Bet365. So by the time football season begins, boy, that signage at Busch Stadium and in their minds is going to be there. I think this is an excellent move.
Yeah, so they're going all in, which is not surprising that St. Louis Cardinals are the first to officially announce a sports betting partner. Bill DeWitt III was the lead voice of the ballot initiative that got it on the ballot in November and then ultimately legalized sports betting in Missouri. So the fact that they're kind of leading this is not so surprising. He was always out there, even during the legislative efforts that all failed. He was the first one to be testifying in support of it in hearings. He was the first one to kind of call out various stakeholders that made the legislative efforts fail. So not surprising that this happened, but yeah, Bet365 is going to be very prominent throughout Busch Stadium. They're going to have an exclusive club out in the center right field that will be the Bet365 bridge, if I remember correctly. They get to sponsor the lineups every day at Busch Stadium. So yeah, to your point, the awareness for Bet365 by the time it launches later this year is going to be huge. And it is kind of a neat partnership because to your point, probably the most popular, at least during I guess you could put the Chiefs up there too. I don't know, the NFL, but
I got the Cardinals.
Okay, so then we'll go for that. They'll be huge. And, we don't know yet where FanDuel and DraftKings are going to come on. They may get the 2 standalone online licenses that are available. Missouri's going to have a lot of licenses available. There's going to be 13 casino licenses that can partner with sportsbooks, and then, of course, 5 other sports teams that can partner. So we're going to have all the big players, and we do know Underdog has said they're going to apply for a license. They're, of course, not in a ton of states yet. Right. Yeah, we do know it's delayed. Initially we thought Missouri sports betting, the goal was from the Missouri Gaming Commission was to launch early baseball season. Emergency rules got denied because it's not crucial to the residents of Missouri. So those rules will go into effect in August. We know the application process for these operators will be coming up here next month, and that'll get going. So hopefully for Missouri bettors, once the rules are approved on August 30th, it won't be too long before the licenses are, issued and the sports books can get up and underway. But yeah, Cardinals, Bet365, a pretty interesting partnership for, to your opinion, the most popular team in Missouri.
Listen, I think the last several years, the Kansas City Chiefs have surpassed the St. Louis Cardinals, but I'm not discount the last 50 years of sports in that state.
That's fair.
To me, it's just still the historical franchise. Okay, so folks in Alabama are going to get to vote on lottery and sports betting. We know that this has been a point of contention. It seems like a 50-50 proposition on all of this stuff, but at least the legislature, they're trying to get people to vote on this.
Yeah, this is such again, kind of as we talked about Alaska, that I needed to bring new states. We've been talking about Alabama the last couple of years and how there's been just a back and forth. One year the Senate approves a sports betting package to see the House decline it. Then the next year the House brings back basically the same package and sends it to the Senate, and they say no. This year the House said the Senate needs to take it over and send it. We have not seen a bill introduced yet. But apparently, according to the Senate leader, they're talking about it, and they want to get it right before they introduce anything and get it through. Now, this, of course, is a constitutional amendment that would require 2/3 votes in both chambers, and then it would go to a public vote. So yeah, it's a huge if, because again, we haven't even seen a bill introduced, and then those are huge hurdles. We've seen both chambers pass sports betting bills, and of course they are, like Alaska, one of 5 states without a lottery. So basically a lot of this is around lottery, but all of the packages in the past have had lottery, casino gaming, sports betting, only to see, last year the Senate stripped the sports betting in a conference committee and then ultimately killed the entire package. So yeah, it's just a lot of ifs in Alabama at the moment, but at least they're talking about it after, being kind of under the assumption that they weren't even considering it because they haven't filed a bill midway through the session. So yeah, a lot of ifs. They might get it through to, the voters. And then, at that point, it is almost a 50-50 shot in a southern state like that has conservative sects that really are religiously opposed to gambling.
All right. Finally, the state of Michigan continues to dole out these cease and desists for different operators. Who are they taking on this time offshore?
It's 10 operators that are all under the operation of a Belize-owned company. And this is more than 30 cease and desist letters the Michigan Gaming Control Board has sent out. They are very much the leaders in this so far, just really trying to shut down the offshore market. Of course, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has allocated a lot of money in budgets to help fight the offshore. The MGCB, the Michigan Gaming Control Board Executive Director Henry Williams is leading a group of regulators asking for federal help. And this is more than 30 cease and desist letters to offshore, unregulated, unlicensed, regulated operators. And he just really wants, consumer safety and is putting that, at the forefront here.
All right, Pat. Good luck to your Spartans. When we talk next week, I hope for your sake, it's Final Four. That's all that's left, right? By the talk next week.
That would be amazing. And I'm, going to be rooting them on hard this year.
I know you will. All right. Thanks, Pat. We'll take a quick timeout when we come back next. Record numbers for the NCAA tournament. What does it look like? Simon Applebaum, our resident expert, tells us next.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, let's bring in Simon Applebaum from the podcast Tomorrow Will Be Televised. Guess what else will be televised? It's the NCAA tournament. It continues, of course, tomorrow on CBS, TNT, True TV, and streaming options as well. Simon, great to have you back here on the show. And Man, boy, huge win for the NCAA tournament. I didn't see this coming. I mean, certainly I watched. I thought it was intriguing, but a lot of games that were not close, a lot of chalky teams winning, and it didn't affect viewership at all.
Not at all, Craig, and great to be back with you. If you're Cinderella Schminderella or no blowouts, no buzzer beaters, who cares? But everyone is happy. CBS and all the Warner Bros. Discovery networks. 9.4 million people saw the games on average in the first round on Thursday and Friday in the different time periods. By the way, it's the first time that out-of-home viewing is included into the total. And then, if that's not enough, by the way, that's the most watched first round in 37 years, putting all the networks together. And then the Saturday, Sunday second round games averaged 10.1 million. It was really amazing. On the women's side, which was basically ABC and the ESPN family networks, the first round was 367,000 viewers. It was down 4% from a year ago, with Caitlin Clark, of course, dominating the situation with Iowa. However, the second round games, which were on Sunday and Monday, nearly 1 million people watched, and the game that Paige Beckers on Monday night scored against South Dakota State, had her own personal record over 38 points. That had 1.7 million people watching on that one game on ESPN. So the women's tournament is starting to move up and up. Now the question is going to be with the women's tournament is, with Juju Watkins being out, is Connecticut now has a shot to be in the Final Four and the Final Two, particularly with Paige Becker's performance? If it is, I think the final game could be not the Caitlin Clark from last year, but it could be a pretty good number for ABC, which runs the game on Sunday afternoon. I've always thought that the Sunday afternoon game should have been a night game, the primetime game for the championship, same way with the men's team. However, if it's Connecticut or it's South Carolina, I think the numbers will be pretty good. In addition, we still have the NIT, no numbers from ESPN. It's been a bust. We also have this college invitational tournament that was on last night, sponsored by Purple, the bed mattress maker. Bad deal. Not much on the Black College Invitational tournament over the weekend. I think they should have done it the following weekend, this weekend. And then you have the College Basketball Crown Tournament, which starts Monday on Fox Sports 1 from Las Vegas, and then the championship game on Fox.
Can't wait to catch both ends of the Final Four men's and women's. Meanwhile, the NFL draft is coming up next month. We know that the rights options are going to be changing potentially for the NFL draft. Simon, why do you think that Netflix, after the success that they had broadcasting games, is not interested in bidding for rights to the NFL draft? The only thing I can think of is just too much money.
It may be, Craig, and it's a real mystery because you would think that this fits Netflix's purview. They want live events. They want live events that are really super spectacular. And when it comes to the NFL draft, it is the Lollapalooza, the Coachella of off-season NFL events, or for that matter, in any sport. It's a 2-night, 3-day event. It's in one location. It's got lots of side stories, potential stories as the event goes on. It would be perfect for Netflix. I'm really shocked, by the way, that they decided to pass it. However, there may be a 3- or 4-way battle to who does get it after next year. ESPN has made a bid. We understand Fox has made a bid. Google has made a bid, which means that YouTube, which is now becoming more and more a smart TV set service, is in, and maybe Amazon or Prime Video. So it's going to be a very interesting situation about how the NFL decides to play the draft. I understand that what the NFL ideally would like to do is to have a linear television player, either broadcast or cable, as well as a mega content service. So, for example, Fox might be that. If they can make a deal with, let's say, a Netflix, or maybe a Google, or maybe a Prime Video, or somebody else. ESPN, of course, has ESPN Plus, and of course, we'll have the ESPN All Access service, formerly Flagship. So you got a lot of interesting ways to play this. And I have a hunch that maybe by the upfronts in May, we may find out who the player is for the draft going forward.
We got opening day tomorrow, Simon, and certainly Major League Baseball's rights are coming up soon. That's going to be a huge story for us over the next couple of years. This season, a lot of focus on the local affiliates, the local streaming, moving away from RSN, Major League Baseball taking over some of the productions. Seems to me that we're just headed for a new world of Major League Baseball. The other thing that I would add, Simon, and I'm sure it has to affect some things, is that as long as you and I have been watching baseball, I don't ever recall a time where there was no 1 p.m. Eastern game on opening day. It just seems to me, Simon, that yes, they do care about the fans, but the old days of opening up in Cincinnati and making sure that they throw out the first pitch, here's the new day. Let's make sure people are watching our games and getting ratings. So therefore, all the games are starting in the afternoon tomorrow.
Yeah, mid to late afternoon. I know the ESPN has the opening day doubleheader that features the Yankees in one game. One game is going to be like 3 o'clock, 4:30. The other's going to be like in prime time. You hit it. The big story to me this year is going to be the fact that depending on where you are going to have more games on local broadcast television. You're going to have more games available either ad-supported or in subscription format on a smart TV service or a mega content service. As far as nationals concerned, you still will have ESPN doing Sunday Night Baseball. You'll have Roku with the Sunday afternoon package. You'll have Fox with either Saturday afternoon or Saturday night games, as well as the All-Star Game and the World Series. But the big news story is what's going to happen with local and what's going to happen with regional television. It's going to be very interesting to see how this new world order, or maybe for local broadcast redone order, shapes up. By the way, Cleveland Guardians, formerly Cleveland Indians, is the one team that does not have yet a linear television package. And we may hear about it maybe before the end of the day tomorrow.
We also did get quickly, Simon, some breaking news on the Breeders' Cup. I know that this is still a niche sport for some, but they seem to be doing very well at NBC if they've just signed a new contract extension. They, Peacock, USA Network through 2030. Has to be a positive sign.
It is, and NBC has been having the Breeders' Cup from the start. It is the fall championship of horse racing worldwide. It's going to be coverage at least 10 hours on NBC, Peacock, and USA Network, and it's going to run for the next 5 years to 2030. So big deal on the horse racing front for NBC Sports.
And then finally, it's our annual Simon tries to sell us on the UFL football, and I say it's not happening, but go ahead, Simon, do your best.
Opening game Friday on Fox. It's going to become their Friday night schedule from now till June. Games are going to be on either Fox or on ESPN. If the ratings do go up, if viewership goes up, this league might expand. There was already talk about expanding to maybe 10 or 12 teams in 2026, but it all depends on getting a player that's a star and a team that's a star.
I'll bet against that one here on SportsGrid. Thanks again, Simon, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Always great, Greg. Take care.
All right, last look coming up, emotional day for an Astros rookie. Great day for an FSU baseball player against my Gators, too. Right back.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of thoughts.
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to NewsWire here on SportsGrid. We're going to end the show with a really emotional moment inside the Astros clubhouse. Also, a Florida State baseball player doing something historical last night. Same with Alex Ovechkin on the ice. Let's wrap things up with some last licks. I highly recommend checking out this video, which I caught this morning on social media. That right there, that picture is of Cam Smith. He's a member of the Houston Astros organization. You may not be familiar. He was drafted in the first round last season by the Chicago Cubs out of Florida State University. Played about 20 games at low A ball, or, whatever ball they have, when you first get drafted. And then he was traded to Houston for Kyle Tucker, superstar baseball player who's now in the Cubs. So this Cam Smith shows up to spring training. He's like the best player in camp. And as camp goes on, it's almost like, wow, he may end up winning a job on the team. And he did yesterday. A really cool moment for the Astros. They flew in his entire family from Florida and other places too, to tell him that he was going to be making his debut in Major League Baseball. Really emotional moment. He was crying, family crying, awesome stuff. Probably the best You Made It video I've seen in a while, so highly recommend checking that thing out. Cam Smith has a chance to be a star, and one of the fastest players ever to make the big leagues right out of college. So really cool story there. Meanwhile, I'm guessing that he knows this player that we're going to talk about here. His name is Alex Lodesy. He is on the Florida State Seminoles. They played my Florida Gators last night. And one of just such a rare occasion to see this happen. So Lodesy against the Gators ended up hitting a walk-off grand slam. And you may be saying to yourself, wait a second, that had to be done before. Yes, but how about a walk-off grand slam that completes the cycle in a college baseball game? I hate to do this against my Gators. It's like the last team I even want to talk about. I mean, I got the Gators coming up here against Maryland. We know the Gators are going to win. Sorry, Sussman. That's what's going to happen. But, to see my Gators go down last night, like that, rough, but great moment for this Florida State player. Walk-off, grand slam, completes the cycle against the Gators. Finally, we're getting closer and closer to history. Alex Ovechkin of the Caps is now 6 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time record. Here is Joe Madden on what will be an incredible feat in the history of hockey.
Alex Ovechkin definitely didn't disappoint hockey fans last night, scoring goal number 889 of his career, putting him 6 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal-scoring record. Now, that goal last night came with 4 minutes left in the third period on Winnipeg Jets goaltender Connor Hellebuyck. We saw Ovechkin go tight to the post of Connor Hellebuyck on the stick side, getting that goal 889. And now all the talks come about when we will see Ovi break that record. 2 storylines I love. Firstly, the Columbus Blue Jackets are the odds-on favorite at -120 for him to break the record on, which he's on pace to do so. He plays them on April 12th and 13th. The 13th at home. Would love to see it happen there. And when we look at Ovi in his career, his first ever NHL goal was on the Columbus Blue Jackets. It would be magical to see him score to break that record here on this team. And then we look at Sidney Crosby and him have played so many games together. Last game of the season for the Washington Capitals is against the Pittsburgh Penguins. For him to get that goal versus the Pittsburgh Penguins is coming in at +300. You gotta love the storyline between Ovi and Sid over their careers. Back to you, Craig.
All right, thanks very much, Joe. You can catch Joe tonight on some Game Time Decisions and, of course, on In-Game Live as well. We'll see if Ovechkin ends up doing this before the NHL playoffs begin. All right, that'll do it for our show today. Thanks again to Kyle Bonn for coming on, talking some soccer, Pat Evans from Legal Sports Report, and, of course, thanks to all of you for watching the program as well. Thanks to Brady Cannon talking golf with us. Here's our schedule. Coming up next, it's Smiley Kaufman getting you ready for the Houston Open. And that is followed by Pharrell Coast to Coast at 3 o'clock Eastern. Some Game Time Decisions tonight, In-Game Live Game Day, and then Sports Rage tonight. I'll be locked in. Also, thanks to our director, Luke, and for my producer, Frank, I'm Craig Mish. Guess what tomorrow is, folks? It's opening day around here at SportsGrid. Major League Baseball opens up the season tomorrow. If you want to get some news, notes, and information on all of the games in baseball, or even the college basketball NCAA Sweet 16, just download the SportsGrid app. It's available right now for iOS and Android. There it is. Scan it, streaming 24/7. Some great programming, and we'll get you ready for the upcoming games in baseball tomorrow. Can't wait to do my show here with you before I head out to do my my other work here. doing my first broadcast on the Marlins television network tomorrow as well. So busy day for me tomorrow, but I'll be here with you. Same time, same place. NewsWire, 11 a.m. Eastern. Have a great day, everyone.